I'm suspending development of the Goat Duels simulator and will be scaling down the amount of content that I make for the Goat Duels YouTube channel, and I want to explain why. So, no, this is not clickbait. I'm not doing this because I've fallen out of love with the game of Goat format, but rather because my personal priorities have changed and I no longer feel that the effort is worth the potential reward. In other words, the facts have not changed, but my feelings have, which has led me to change my mind. In life, there are two kinds of rewards for the work that we do. The first kind is a tangible reward, like money. And that's the primary reason that we all get up and go to work every day, right? The second reward is an intangible reward, which can be something as simple as personal satisfaction or just the joy that you get from serving others. In the case of Goat Duels, I was kind of hoping for a mixture of both. However, I now see that certainly the tangible rewards have pretty limited potential. The most popular YouTube channel for Goat format gets about 3,000 views per video, and our channel, which is the second most popular, gets pretty similar numbers. And it takes a ton of effort to make a good YouTube video, and the general amount of interest in our niche makes it seem to me like the juice is not worth the squeeze. But of course, it's not just that simple. What about helping the Goat format community? Isn't that the real reason that I should be doing all of this? Well, I mean, perhaps, but, there are a few issues with that. So, I am going to bring up a related topic, which I have avoided talking about previously, but, this is a bit necessary to explain sort of the whole story of how I got here. And that involves my split from goatformat.com. Now, this was a website that I jointly created with Scully, and, I laid a lot of the foundation of goatformat.com and its content back in 2018, 2019. And I had this massive plan to jumpstart Goat format and really take it to the next level. I wanted Goat format to have its own specialized dueling simulator. A lot of people did, but of course that is easier said than done. So I decided that I needed to learn all of the skills necessary to create that dueling simulator, but then I would need other people to sort of take over the day-to-day operations of goatformat.com while I was doing so. So I tried my best to put the systems into place that would make that transition a smooth one. And Scully and I reached a deal. I would go take some time to learn JavaScript development, and he would manage those day-to-day operations of goatformat.com, and I was going to throw a big tournament first. So I put up my Shonen Jump prize card, Dark End Dragon, for what was at the time the biggest prize ever offered for an online Goat format tournament. So this tournament got a lot of positive attention from the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Goatformat.com's traffic started increasing, and we plan to split the ad revenue from that big increase in traffic. We were going to split that ad revenue 50-50. So this distribution of ad revenue was the idea that ad revenue is going to help me make up the cost of the fact that I just gave away a $1,000 Yu-Gi-Oh card here. So anyways, that deal lasted about, 2 months, maybe it was a little longer, before I was abruptly removed from that community. Now, over that time, I hadn't really made any tangible progress on that dueling simulator, as when you're learning programming, you don't just go from typing hello world to, oh yeah, here's a complete dueling simulator. You don't get there in 2 months. So, I would guess that he felt that I was making insufficient progress and violating the spirit of our deal. But, from my perspective, I just felt like, okay, he doesn't trust me, and he's looking for any excuse to cut me out and keep everything that we built together for himself. In addition, he spread various negative rumors about me, or at least that seemed to be the case, judging from what I've heard from other people. So from that point on, I was, very upset But that just made me even more motivated to finish the dueling simulator just to prove him wrong and redeem myself in the eyes of my peers, as that's just kind of the person I was. Then a while later, this is maybe like a year later or something, I find out that Scully was bullying Jinzo and Tonic, who you may remember him. He was one of like the most wholesome creators of the Goat Format community. Not everyone likes me, not everyone likes Scully, but everyone liked Jinzo and Tonic. But it turns out that Scully and Jinzo and Tonic had some sort of deal too, and that was regarding his Discord server and the tournaments that he was running there, qualifying people for Goat Format Worlds. So Scully takes that deal and leverages it and says to Jinzo and Tonic, hey, you basically have to give us, me, the people heading goatformat.com, you have to give us oversight of your Discord server and your YouTube channel now, or we're just going to take all these people's invites away. And Jinzo and Tonic, like being the good guy that he is and not wanting innocent people to get screwed over by this, basically just gives away his Discord server, stops making YouTube content, and just checks out of the Goat Format community entirely. And, Jinzo and I, we talked a lot about that because we were kind of in a mutual situation. And we were both very upset, but we had different feelings on what should be done about the situation. I was of the opinion that we should just stand up to Scully together and say, hey, we're not going to let ourselves be bullied. We're going to sort of come forward and do what we can to, explain the situation to people. Whereas to him, it wasn't like a hill that he wanted to die on. He's like, yeah, I don't want drama. I don't want to wage an internet war over some differences over a children's card game. So he kind of just like wished me the best of luck and moved on with his life. But as time has gone on, I'm kind of now coming around to seeing things his way. The battle just isn't worth fighting. I've tried and I'm not getting the satisfaction out of it that I was hoping. And I realized that I was creating this dueling platform. Yes, mostly, of course, to help the Goat Format community, but also largely just to prove someone wrong on the internet. And I became more isolated from the individuals in the Goat Format community that I knew and cared about. At first, kind of forcefully, because I was, removed, but later also by my own doing, really. So at this point, like, the Goat Format community feels more to me like a symbol or an abstract concept rather than something that I have personal ties to. I've come to realize that I almost like the idea of a thriving and wholesome Goat Format community more than I actually like the real world Goat Format community as it exists. And, I've just noticed over and over again, in the rare instances that there are like really decent, helpful people who want to grow that Goat Format community, it just seems like they are consistently put down more often than they're appreciated. Yes, I already mentioned Jinzo and Tonic, but that is not the only example. Take a guy like Void, right? So Void, he was doing some good Goat Format videos on his own channel. One of them got like 10,000 views. He was also doing Goat Format videos for us on Goat Duels, as a favor to me and to get his channel exposure. And, he didn't really like that experience. And, okay, was he ever the best player to pick up a Goat Format deck? No, but he was a nice guy with a great spirit, and I wish that I could have seen more out of him. Now, I can't say for sure why he deleted his YouTube channel and said, hey, I'm not going to make videos anymore. He told me that as well. Didn't give me a reason. But I don't think I'm going out on a limb too much here to say that all of the comments telling him that his videos sucked really helped, right? So for the record, I actually think his videos were surprisingly good, and I think that with some positive encouragement, we could have ended up with one of the best creators in this space. But, here we are. I did mention, of course, that my fading connection from the Goat Format community was partially of my own doing, so I'll elaborate on that as well. A year and a half ago, as some of you may know, I quit my job in America and moved to Cambodia, and that was for two reasons. The main one being that I did not particularly enjoy my life in America, but also to have more time to work on the Goat Duels simulator, as well, I wouldn't be working 40 hours a week. And on the first front, I've been doing quite well. Cambodia is actually far better than I expected it to be. I've made what I hope to be lifelong friends, and I'm engaged to an absolutely amazing woman. But what I failed to realize is how all of that would take away my motivation to work on the Goat Duel simulator. Why spend all of my days sitting around coding when there's this whole, new interesting world out there? Why miss out on cultivating all of those relationships? And as I've begun to sort of understand myself more, I've realized that to a large extent, my motivation for competitive gaming and its related activities, like developing that simulator, is largely an antisocial behavior. And what I mean by that is that when my personal relationships are lacking, I cope with that by retreating from society and immersing myself into the gaming world. And this, of course, only hurts my relationships more, which causes a feedback loop. But for the first time in my life, I feel like that feedback loop is strongly moving in the other direction. As my relationships with people grow deeper, I have less desire to spend my time gaming, which then gives me more time to be with those people that I care about. Additionally, the time zone difference has also played a big role in all of this. Most of the Goat Format players that I know are in America, which makes it difficult for me to sync up with them. I know that some people wonder why I haven't entered any online Goat Format tournaments in a long time, with some saying that, oh, I'm just scared to lose, and others theorizing that I'm actually entering all these tournaments under alternate accounts. In reality, the reason is a lot more mundane than that. I just simply can't enter them because I don't want to enter some tournament at midnight and then stay up until 7 in the morning for it to finish. And with interest in Goat Format seemingly peaking, that tangible reward for my effort is shrinking, and then with the direction that my life is going, the intangible reward is nearly gone as well. So what is there that's left, really, right? It's not that I hold any ill will towards Goat Format or the people that play it. It's just that I simply don't care anymore. And yes, I know that some people will be really disappointed to see me check out, and others are going to be celebrating my departure. And my ego is really just a lot smaller than it used to be, so I'm not going to be keeping score of who's doing which. I hope that Goat Format will still see substantial participation in the years to come, as I do feel that it is the best way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In 5 years, when I'm bored on some Wednesday morning, I'd like there to be someone who says, oh sure, I'll play Goat Format with you. And I also wish Edison Format the best of luck as well. If it can avoid falling into some of the traps that Goat Format did, I think it will do really well. Realize, guys, all you Edison players out there, at some point, Edison won't be a 10-deck format anymore. People will figure out which 3 decks are better than the other 7, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that the format is solved and that everyone should stop playing and start bitching. Formats live or die, not because of which decks topped the last 3 tournaments, but because of the people who shape their community. So, guys, stay close, stay positive, and help the newcomers. That being said, there will continue to be some amount of Goat Format videos on this channel. I still enjoy making videos, and I would guess that I'll post somewhere from 6 to 12 videos per year, or about a new video every 1 to 2 months. My annual review of the Goat Format meta and my predictions for 2024, that will still be coming in another video very soon. And of course, I hope that you all watch it. Production quality, it might be a bit lower than before in the future, but on the other hand, when I will be making a video, it'll be because I really want to, because I feel that there's something really important to talk about, not because I feel like I'm obligated to push out some particular quantity of content. I also want to mention that my newer channel about life in Cambodia has done a lot better than I've expected, and I will be committing to making it even more successful in the future. The niche of expat living has a lot more interest on YouTube compared to the niche of retro Yu-Gi-Oh! So I do feel like that reward / potential is going to be better there. My most watched Goat Format videos have around 20,000 views, whereas if you look on my new channel, I already have a video that's blown up to over 30,000 views in just a couple of months. So go look at my pinned comment if you want to check that channel out. So to wrap it up, we've all done some great work here on Goat Duels, and I hope that I can still pump out a few bangers from time to time. We had the Goat Format documentary, not to mention all of the cool deck profiles over the years. I'm still getting great results with Chaos Return, as you can hopefully see from all this replays, which, it's a top tier deck that was developed right here for you guys. I've always strived to do my best work and give people my honest assessment of the game, knowing that sometimes it might ruffle some feathers. So, it was really difficult for me to make this video. I guess if you like it, please subscribe or maybe unsubscribe. That's your call, I guess. Take care.